Welcome, everyone, to Live with Sequoyah Fund. I'm Russ Siegel. I'm the Executive Director of Sequoyah Fund. Today, my special guest is Ed Sharpe. Ed Sharpe is the owner of Medicine Man Crafts here in Cherokee. And we're going to give Ed an opportunity to talk to you about his business. We're going to talk to him about what's going on, their history, where they are, and how you can get to them. Welcome, Ed.
Hi, Russ. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for coming today. We look forward to talking with you. Wanted to start with just a little history. I know you guys have been around a while here in Cherokee. Wanted to just tell us about your history and how long you've been here.
Yeah, the shop has actually been in place for over 50 years, 57 actually. It started in 1963. A man named Tom Underwood started the shop, and I believe it was at Big Cove area somewhere when it first started, but as it grew, he moved it to the center of town where it is now. And that was the early 60s. And my family came along in the late 60s to Cherokee, and my mom started working with Tom. And she was there over 50 years.
Wow.
So I pretty much grew up with the shop and love it to this day. And so it was a long history with my mom there. There was a pivotal moment in 1982 when the shop actually burned down along with the adjoining motel that it was attached to. And I think there was a moment there where they discussed just closing the doors because pretty much everything was gone, you know.
Right.
But my mom decided to get a little room at the Drama Inn, which is next door, and just start over. She let all the crafters in town know she was buying new stuff, new inventory. And eventually they moved into the space we're in now, which was an old laundromat, some people may remember, and renovated that and moved into that space. So we've been there since 1982. And my mom's been in charge. A few years ago, she was thinking of retiring, as we all do. And she thought about selling the store, but she wanted to give me first opportunity because she knew I loved the store, and we talked about that. And it worked out to where my wife and I could move back to Cherokee after being away a long time. My wife and I grew up here. We both went to Swain County High School and grew up around Cherokee. So I pretty much came in and took over managing the store and let her retire and take it easy. I did it with the help of two incredible ladies that worked there. They've been there over 20 years, Judy and Faye. They're still there. And they showed me the ropes and got me involved, and I loved every minute of it. So it's been a little over 2 years. I've been there working at the shop. And sadly, my mom passed away this year. So I'm proud to carry on her legacy and just carry it all forward.
Well, I know your employees and your customers are happy that you're there.
Well, I hope so. I'm doing my best.
Well, I'm sorry about your mom. I do know that over time, retail stores, especially retail stores that have a loyal following, tend to start to specialize in certain things. And even though you might carry a wide variety of products, what are some of the most popular things you carry in your store? What are you known for?
Yeah, so we've always been known for local crafts. We like to carry on the Cherokee traditions and support the local community. So we have baskets and pottery, wood carvings, you name it. If it's made, you know, on the reservation, blowguns, tomahawks, just a lot of traditional things, leather goods, knives, masks, all that kind of thing. And we have a lot of musical stuff. We have hand drums and powwow drums and rattles and flutes that are all handmade. So we try to focus really on local and handmade stuff. Not that it's 100% that, but that's been the impetus of the store. So we carry that on. And then in the last decade or so, being the medicine man, we've focused on herbal plant medicine and herbal ceremonials and things like that. So we have a wide array of herbals.
Okay.
In all different forms. We have some great local herbalists, it's all local, that create tinctures and soaps and salves and all that kind of thing. And I actually curate a lot of our dried herbs that are packaged as teas, just cut and dried herbs. So we have probably over 60 of those, along with a lot of other stuff. So that's been probably half of our business in our store now.
A lot of places, I know the co-op does this, that they only buy certain times. Do you buy continuously from local artists and crafters, or do you have certain times of the year when you buy?
We do. We try to, we're open year round, and we try to continuously be available to buy. Of course, in the off season, we can't buy like we do in July. And everyone knows that that's a given, so we scale it down midwinter, but we're always there and open when we can be, and buying what we can from the local community.
Do you have any seasonal items? Are there things that just you only carry at certain times of the year that people need to be aware of?
Well, a lot of the herbals are like that. Some you can get certain times of year, and other times of year you can't. But other than that, the crafts are not so much seasonal. We year round carry that kind of thing. So not a lot.
Now, right now, as we're doing this, the tribe has just started to open things back up. North Carolina has just started to open things back up. A lot of states are opening back up, and I know tourists are really eager to get back to their normal summer activities. They want to be able to visit the shops. They want to be able to buy things. How has this pandemic affected your store, and what do you see for the future?
Yeah, so it's been quite unusual. We were closed for 2 months, and recently, about a month ago, I guess we reopened along with a lot of the other businesses. And before we did, we decided we wanted to just take ultra care and be very vigilant about not spreading the virus when it did open back up. So, we have the plexiglass and we do the sanitizing regularly, and we have required masks since we've reopened for everyone coming in. And I know that's just been reinstated by the chief and the governor, actually, that masks are more required to slow the thing down. So, yeah, it's definitely a new normal and a new way of doing things. But I've been very surprised at the amount of tourism and people coming in right away, and everyone's happy to be compliant with new rules. And so far, so good. We're slowly coming back from a little decline there.
Yeah, it seems like people forget. I drive down the street, and I sometimes I'll have my mask on because I forgot to take it off after I walked out of the car. But I still do see a lot of people who are walking around without masks. And are you trying to make masks available, or are you just trying to encourage people to wear them as they come in?
Yeah, thank you for asking. We encourage people to wear them. We have signs on the door, but we have them available. We give people that do not have masks, and there's actually quite a few, we offer a paper mask for free, so they can come and shop. Yeah,
I just think that's good customer service. I mean, just
oh yeah,
we can't always assume the worst about people, that they're maliciously not doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and I haven't seen anyone that's been belligerent or malicious at all. They're happy for you to supply them with masks, for their family, and come and look around. So
That's good. Yeah, I see a lot of people traveling in groups. It looks like big family groups coming back to town, which I think is good. A lot of folks bringing their
Yeah.
kids back to town, and so when you were mentioning the tinctures and the herbals, what are some of the things that people may not know about that could be cured or relieved through natural medicinals?
Yeah. So we have almost any ailment, common ailment, we have some kind of plant remedy. There are old ancient cures and that kind of thing that we revisit. But we have a lot of people with aches and pains and that kind of thing. We've got a good salve for you, Russ.
I got to get over there. I'm just across the river. I got to get over there.
Yeah. So, some people are interested in weight loss, and some people are interested in controlling their sugar or, blood pressure and all that kind of thing. But we do supply information on everything for you to look at, and it's not the place of going to your doctor. We just supply information and let you look it all over and try it out if you want. It's all pretty safe.
Yeah, I will say that a lot of the natural remedies I have tried have actually been very effective and have worked better than some of the chemical, more commercial type things.
Yeah, and I think there's a thing where people want to stay away from pharmaceuticals as much as they can. If they can do it a natural way, you'll feel better about it.
Right.
Not to mention less expensive.
Well, I know a lot of folks are homeschooling these days out of necessity, and it seems that going forward, the way we do school is going to be very different. I see I've talked to a lot of people who have said that they really like being able to homeschool their kids, or at least supplement their education at home. You carry some books and some other educational materials about the Cherokee in your store too, right?
We do. We have an extensive book section. A lot of it is on language. If you want to learn the language or look at your ancestry, a lot of people are interested in that, as well as the culture and traditions and maybe modern day Cherokee. So we have a lot of books on the area and the Cherokee culture, as well as the region, the Smoky Mountains, the park and hiking and that kind of thing. And we have a lot of books on herbs and education that way as well. So yeah, great book section.
I mean, that's something I think a lot of people are going to be looking for, just to be able to give them something for the kids to do at home and to learn, and especially language and culture are two big areas right now that people are talking about. What would you say to people coming to Cherokee, just in general, if they're going to visit Cherokee? What would you want them to know, not just about your store, but about the area?
I would encourage them to learn something about the culture and the people there. Across from us is the museum, which is a great visit, and of course the Oconaluftee Indian Village is very educational, as well as Quala Arts and Crafts, who carry all crafts made by the local artisans. So I generally point people in that direction while they're here to learn something about Cherokee and its history, and for fun, go jump in the river or go to the casino.
It's finally warm enough to do that. Yeah.
Right.
I also wanted to mention, Ed, your website. I'm going to put this here on the screen. You have a pretty comprehensive website. So for those who can't get to you, is there anything in your store that they can't buy on the website? Because it looks like you've got everything listed there.
Well, no, actually, there's no way I can list everything, because one visit to the shop and you'll see there's a lot of stuff in there. So a lot of the stuff on the website is things that we have in good supply. All of our herbals and soaps and things like that are on there. and a lot of the crafts, and I'm working on it. It's growing every day, but that's been one way when I came along to try and expand the shop and get the word out there a little more is through the website. It's an e-commerce site where you can shop and buy right there. And also with social media, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, we're on there as well. So trying to branch out that way, it's been a learning experience.
Do you manage all that yourself?
I do. So far, I've done it myself. We'll see if there's a point where it gets over my head, you know.
Well, one of the things that we often find as we talk to business owners is that can become a full-time job, is just managing your marketing and your social media. How do you handle that? How do you work in all of that with all the other things that you have to do?
I try to spend a little time each day working with that, you know, expanding. I do a lot of just learning through webcast or articles, you know. Like they say, if you don't know how to do something, just Google it.
Yep.
I do a lot of Googling.
University of YouTube.
Exactly. That's my school right now.
Well, and it sounds like you've got a very knowledgeable staff that's like family that you can trust things to while you're working on some of these other things, like social
Absolutely.
media.
Yes, the ladies there are just a godsend. I could not have come along and do it without them. So I'm very grateful for them. They're very helpful and knowledgeable. You know, like I say, they've both been there for over 20 years. So we have a lot of returning customers, and they know Faye and Judy. They knew my mom, you know, so that helps. And a lot of times it's even the customers are like family to us. So it's a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, I imagine you being there as long as you have, you probably have customers who come in year after year looking for certain things. As you see the traffic on your website, are the people buying on your website buying because they've been in the store, they saw something they want to reorder, or maybe they just found you through a random Google search, or is it a pretty good mix?
It's a good mix of both. And I do have a lot of people that comment and say, "Oh, I've been to your store. I'm glad I can reach it remotely now." You know, so
that's great.
There's that, and repeat customers, you know, that come in the store every day. They'll say, "Man, I remember as a child coming here." You know, so we're getting into generations coming back to our store, which is really fun and really nice to see.
That's great.
I was going to mention too, we carry a lot of kids' toys and clothing and traditional dolls and that kind of thing. So we try to make something for everyone there. You know, in addition to all the crafts and things, we have the obligatory souvenirs, hats and T-shirts and magnets for the area, because a lot of people want to just take something small home with them. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good one stop to take care of all of the things you want to buy plus your gift needs, which is good.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've been there long enough to have a lot of locals shopping there as well. So it's a big family and a big community, and we all just enjoy it.
That's great. And you got some good neighbors too.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Ed, for those who've never been to Cherokee or are coming to Cherokee or maybe even in Cherokee right now, but they're looking for you, tell us where they can find you and tell us your hours and when they can get to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so our hours are 9 to 6 p.m. every day. And we are located at 482 Sali Boulevard, and I usually have to spell that Tsali. It's in the center of town in what they call the historical district, across from the museum and the fairgrounds. We're beside the Drama Inn Motel, and the Welcome Center is next to us, which is handy.
easily accessible, centrally located,
Absolutely.
and open and welcoming. And we just encourage folks to shop at Medicine Man Crafts. Go to the website, buy some things there. Even if you can't get to Cherokee, if you're not able to travel this year and you're not able to make your summer vacation, just know that they're available to you. And for those generations after generations who've been shopping at Medicine Man, you can get to them online at medicinemancrafts.com. or give them a call at 497-2202. Ed, thank you so much for being with us today on Live with Sequoyah Fund.
Hey, thank you so much, Russ. This is a great thing you guys are doing. And I'd like to thank you as well for your support during the virus and the shutdown. I had some great stimulus from Sequoyah Fund, and I really appreciate you guys.
Well,
thank you.
We appreciate you and all of our small local businesses. And thank you to the tribe for making that available. We were just the conduit for that. We were just the vehicle for making that money available, but the tribe really did a stand-up job for local businesses, and we certainly appreciate that. It was much needed during that time.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, thank you for joining us today on Live with Sequoyah Fund. Ed, look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you, Russ.